Have you ever wondered,
What teachers wanted to be when they were in high school?
did they want to be teachers or did they want to be something totally different?
We're here to find out today. What was your original high school career plan?
I wanted to be a psychologist, and I started school taking psychology classes, and I loved the psychology classes. And then when it dawned on me that I had to go to school for 8 years, I decided to change my career path, and I loved math at the same time, and so I turned to math, and I finished up with a major in mathematics and a minor in psychology. And ironically, I've gone to school way more than 8 years now.
My original plan was to become a translator for the United Nations and to live in New York City. Went over to Paris and learned French, and I studied foreign languages, and I ended up being a foreign language teacher.
What inspired you to become a substitute teacher?
Well, the inspiration came when I was unemployed. I was released from my company that I was with for 25 years in logistics management, and I had to collect unemployment. And at the unemployment office, I seen a little sign that says "Need tutors," and here's the classes to take to become a tutor. I took those classes, and I became a tutor at Asher Alternative School in the evening for ESL, English, and some math classes. I had some teachers come up to me and say, "You're very good at this. Why don't you become a substitute teacher?" And so I got all the criteria that I needed. I filled all the papers out, and I became a substitute there. I love it. I love being a substitute teacher. I love interacting, especially with the high school and junior high school students, because a lot of them look like they are without direction. And I, being an old, bald, gray-bearded old man, can give them a sense of direction, and I love it.
What did you want to be after high school?
Oh, there are a variety of things I thought about. One was teaching, another was business. There are a number of areas I really thought about going into. I was kind of unclear. You got to remember, I graduated from high school back in 1973, so things were a whole lot different.
When you were in high school, what did you want to do for a living?
I wanted to be an engineer in high school. I took architecture and everything, vocational class, and I honestly wanted to be a professional baseball player.
And what inspired you to become a teacher?
Well, I am playing professional baseball right now, and it's the off season. A lot of guys in the league substitute teach and help coach, and that's what I'd like to do.
Now, what league is this in?
The United Shore Professional Baseball League,
And what team are you on?
Utica Unicorns.
So what was your original career plan in high school?
I think like most high school kids, I wanted to be in the NFL, a professional athlete. And then I was asked to coach a speed training clinic, and I went through there and I really enjoyed the coaching experience. And I kind of figured the only way I'd be able to do that would be to go into physical education. And physical education basically is coaching. I coach kids every semester through several different sports. I teach them skills and how the game's played. And I haven't looked back since, and I really enjoyed it. So I really knew in high school what I wanted to do.
When I was in high school, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, so I went to college undecided. And when I first got into college, once again, was still undecided. I took some classes to possibly be a lawyer or an engineer. And then when I started coaching and working with kids, I saw them improve and got a lot out of them improving, and that's kind of why I went into education.
My original career path in high school was business. I went to college, got an economics degree with a background in business administration, and originally worked as an office manager, keeping track of everybody in the office with accounts payable and accounts receivable.
So what inspired you to become a teacher?
Once I had kids, I quit working, and then I started subbing in their elementary schools and found that I really enjoyed, working with young children. And so I went back to school and got my teaching degree and started teaching.
Honestly, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to be that PTO mom. I wanted to be the mom that made my kids Halloween costumes and baked cookies and cuddled and read books with them. But then when I went to college, soon before I went to college, my dad passed away, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and she had no way to support us. So I knew right then that I needed a career to fall back on in case something happened to my husband. And so my third grade teacher, who I absolutely loved and adored, kind of inspired me to want to be a teacher. And from that point on, I knew that that's what I needed to do for my family and for myself.
When you were in high school, what did you want to do after high school?
I wanted to be a veterinarian. I saw the schooling involved and changed my career path. And when I entered college, I was going to be going to criminal justice. But, that was what I started with.
And what inspired you to become a teacher?
Inspired me to become a teacher was I just kind of worked a football camp one year when I was at college in Saginaw Valley, and I kind of fell in love with that and working with young people, and decided I wanted to be a teacher and a coach.
I actually wanted to be a middle school counselor. I had some things that I needed to talk to a counselor about when I was in middle school, and she was fabulous, and I wanted to be just like her. I started teaching, and I have never left the classroom, and I like it there too.
And what inspired you to become a teacher?
All the awesome teachers that I had. I always wanted to be just like them.
As you can see,
Thanks.
a lot of the teachers here did not originally plan on becoming a teacher, and they just followed their life path, and that's where they've taken them. Some of them had really interesting stories of how they became a teacher, and some of them just, from the get-go, wanted to be a teacher.
And we want to give a big thank you to all the teachers that allowed us to interview them for this. So shout out to them.